Hey, what's up, Zoners? Today we will be comparing where players finished at the end of the season relative to where they were drafted at the beginning of the season. We will be doing this for each position and using this information to pass out MVP awards. And hey, man, we even have big turd awards. The players that laid giant turds for you this season. And hey, dude, if you want to see what players won a league for you, what players lost a league for you, hang on for 7 seconds. Hey, what's up, Zoners? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Banjo, the dog, coming at you live from my garage. And this is the Fantasy Red Zone. We threw together an Excel file just to make things a little bit easier to understand. We'll be sharing that with you right now. All right, let's start off with the quarterbacks. This list has all of the quarterbacks listed in order of how they finish at the end of the season, fantasy football-wise. So, Josh Allen, number 1 on the season. He was drafted as the number 3 quarterback. That was his ADP. So he had a net gain of +2. This is how this graph works right here. So that's how we're going to be doing this thing. So Jalen Hurts, he finished the season as the number 2 quarterback. Hey, his ADP was number 2. That's great. He lived up everything you drafted him for. Net 0. That is what the white is. So green is good. Red is bad. Let's go through this real fast. Hey, man, Jordan Love. We'll talk about him in a minute. He finished as the 5th best fantasy football quarterback on the season. Dude, he was drafted as the 26th quarterback off the board. Net positive 21 spots, man. That is ridiculous. We got Patrick Mahomes. We'll talk about him. Hey, dude, Brock Purdy. Look at that. 14. So drafted, he finished the year as number 6 quarterback, drafted as number 19 quarterback. I know I missed out on him a little bit. I think I had him like as number just outside the top 12, maybe. And then who else is doing good here? Baker Mayfield, man. You got Jared Goff. Hey, dude, I think we had Jared Goff ranked as the 8th best quarterback this year. Look at him, dude. He finished that way. But hey, I mean, you get some right, you get some wrong. So Jared Goff overproduced for your fantasy team. Baker Mayfield, man, look at that. Net value 22. He did great too. What else is going on? Tua did what you drafted him to do. Sam Howell did better than you thought. Russell Wilson even did better than what you drafted him to be. Hey, here we go now. Let's get into some big misses here. Trevor Lawrence, dude. I mean, I think I had him ranked number 7 or something like that, number 6 overall. Trevor Lawrence, man, I was afraid of that offensive line. There was a lot of factors here. -6, so he finished as QB 14, drafted as QB 8, -6 net value. Hey, Matt Stafford did great. Herbert, here we go. Here's 2 big misses right here. But what did I say, Herbert? Oh yeah, Herbert broke his finger. He was doing pretty good until that. That offense in general was a disappointment. And then so Justin Herbert -10, and then Justin Fields, dude, drafted as the 7th, QB 7, finished as QB 17. He was injured, so that had a lot to play with that. Geno Smith, man, he was drafted as QB 15. We thought that was a value. Guess what, dude? He didn't even live up to that, -4. Then, hey, Josh Dobbs, he was drafted as, a starter for like 4 or 5 games, and he got a lot more than that. Gardner Minshew, net value +48. That's the highest on this list, but he was not supposed to be the starter, so why would you draft him that high? Desmond Ridder actually was the only Falcon that did better than you drafted him to be. I don't know. We got to pay attention to this kind of stuff, man. I don't know why we were drafting all the skill positions so high and Ridder so low. Anyways, Bryce Young, people are talking about how disappointed you are in him. -1, dude. He did pretty much exactly what you drafted him to do. Joe Burrow, -20. And Cousins, -10. That is because of injuries. Other than that, they were going to live up to what you did to their draft pick, their ADP. Kyler Murray, -1. And hey, dude, Jake Browning technically has the highest positive here. He finished as quarterback 27. I think he was a top 10 quarterback for like the last month. And he was drafted as, the 58th. But that was because of injury, so we are not really counting that. So just 4 quarterbacks on your team living up to expectation and beyond. MVP, I have Jordan Love, dude. I hated on Jordan Love. Same hometown as me, Baco boy, the butthole of America. Dude, coming out of the butthole of America just to kill it in football. Dude, like I said, quarterback number 5. Let's look and see what I wrote about him real fast. Dude, averaged 19.5 fantasy points per game. And we're just like, all these quarterbacks were injured this year. That's why he was quarterback 5. Well, Dude, that would have been quarterback 7 last year with all those healthy quarterbacks. So, dude, Jordan Love did great this year, scored 20 plus points in 8 of 16 games this season. So, half of the time, dude, all I want from my quarterback is 20 plus points. Half the time he was doing that for you. He only scored single digits twice, so he didn't really lose you a lot of weeks. I remember drafting Aaron Rodgers and getting goddamn 9 points in the week 16 or 15, I guess, that year, the first week of fantasy football playoffs. So, dude, hey, Aaron Rodgers does that shit too. Let's see, 3rd in the league with 30 touchdowns. That's where he got his points. 5th in the league in attempts, dude. So he threw the ball a ton. That offense, they trusted him to throw the ball a lot near the end, man. And he got a lot of touchdowns. Next season, Jordan Love, lock it down as a top 10 quarterback, but I will probably be drafting other people rather than him. But yeah, dude, he is my MVP here. And then Big Turd Award. You can see it, dude. It's shit brown. It's shit brown. Mahomes. So yeah, dude, let's see. I had him in, no, did I have him in 1 year? No, I just had Kelsey in 2. I had Kelsey. No, I did have Patrick Mahomes in my other league, dude. Fuck me over bad, man. I think I got him in the 2nd round because I was like, Mahomes, dude. I just love having a quarterback. I forget what year I had last year when I drafted Trey Lance and got some other shit, man. I'm like, I got to get a quarterback this year. So I got Mahomes. So yeah, dude, finished as quarterback 7, drafted as quarterback 1, negative. He's a -5, dude. Like you could see right here, out of all these, he's the first highly drafted quarterback that was really negative. Then it goes Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert. But dude, Mahomes just hurts the worst because where you got him, man. Oh, there was other people that you could have drafted. Maybe CeeDee Lamb. He didn't fall that far, but still, like, that's the type of tier player you're talking about giving up, dude. Mahomes, dude, average 18.4 fantasy points per game. That is quarterback 14. So points per game when you're not putting all these injured quarterbacks are back in the game when they were actually healthy. Dude, Mahomes was the 14th best quarterback. That is terrible. 7th in the league with 27 touchdowns, man. He's thrown for 37 plus touchdown in each of the last 3 years. 7 yards average per completion. That's terrible. Since week 8, among 38 quarterbacks, Mahomes ranked, 25th in yards per attempt and passer rating, 14th in highly accurate throw rate. So that is god-awful, dude. He's not throwing accurately. The 5th highest drop rate and the most yards lost to drops. Travis Kelce's in a goddamn love story. Patrick Mahomes gets the Big Turd Award for quarterbacks. All right, here we go. Running backs, man. Christian McCaffrey, drafted as the number 1 running back. Hey, dude, guess what? He finished as the number 1 running back. Guess what, man? He's going to be the number 1 running back, number 1 player overall taken next year because he dominated. The difference between him and Mostert was like the same difference as Mostert in the running back 30. So, dude, Christian McCaffrey won everybody a lot of leagues this year. So, yeah, but net 0 there can't be him. ETN overperformed, man. Look at that. 8, drafted as running back number 10, finished as running back number 2, net positive 8. Mostert. I drafted Mostert, but the wheels fell off at the wrong time, guys. So he was drafted, man, as running back 41, finished as number 3, net positive 38, for God's sake. How is that not the fantasy MVP? Holy shit. Breece Hall, dude, the weirdest goddamn fantasy running back season of all time. Averages like 25 rushing yards per game, finishes as like running back number 4. How the hell does that happen, man? Woo! So, yeah, let's see. But net positive 15. So, Breece Hall, coming off that injury, did well. Kyren Williams, dude, come on. Finished the season as running back number 5. That's when he didn't even play like in 3 games in the middle of the year, dude. So, he was like running back 2 by a mile, and he wasn't even drafted, man. Running back 66 when he was drafted. Rachaad White, dude, this guy could have been an MVP too. I hated on Rachaad White. I hated on the Bucks. I hated on Baker Mayfield all off season, and he made me eat shit. So here I am. Here's my shit-eating grin, man. I don't know why I'm talking like this, but still. Rachaad White finished the season as running back number 6. Holy shit, dude. Drafted as running back 29, plus 23 in his net. That is amazing. Joe Mixon, he always comes around and does what you drafted him to. I don't know how, but he goddamn does it. I don't want to draft him next year. Jahmyr Gibbs, hey, dude, huge disappointment. 2 over expectations, man. Overproducing. Jahmyr Gibbs. Give me Jahmyr Gibbs next year. Hey, Alvin Kamara, man. I drafted Alvin Kamara. He was amazing. He was a top 3 running back for me for like 3 weeks, maybe a month. And then those wheels fell off as well. Net positive 16. That stands out to me. And here we go to the first negative Derrick Henry, finished as running back number 10, drafted as running back number 6, but still, dude, that offense was just terrible this year. A lot of, they had to put Will Levis in. That is not the same Derrick Henry. He is falling off. If he gets drafted, if he gets traded somewhere else, I'm probably interested next season. James Cook, plus 13, came out of nowhere, overproduced. He was my fantasy MVP last season, and he took a big turd on everybody. But I was just a year late, a little bit. Bijan Robinson did. Huge disappointment. Huge. Bijan Robinson almost has a case to be the big turd. But he is not. He's got -9, so drafted as running back 3, ended up as running back 12. Pacheco overproduced. I was wrong on him. Hey, dude, Jerome Ford, that was one of Jason's picks to start the year as a sleeper. He stuck with them, man. Net positive 52. How do you beat that? That is a high number. And then here we go, dude. Barkley, -10. I think I put him a little too red. Sorry, man. This red is hard to read because it burns your eyes. It's so bad. It burns your eyes. So Saquon Barkley, that offense was just shit, dude. That offense was just shit. We told you, man, his offensive line was so bad and it reared its ugly head. We were so afraid. We're like, volume alone is going to have to carry this guy because that offensive line is shit. Dude, DeAndre Swift plus 14, but he could have been so much better, man. That second half of that season was terrible. Montgomery plus 10 could have been a lot better, but the emergence of Gibbs while he was injured cost him. Hey, Kenneth Walker, man. How did he end up -3? Probably because of the injury and stuff. I drafted Kenneth Walker. I looked like a genius for about a month and a half. Not so much anymore. Jalen Warren, plus 23. Everybody knows about him. He was a great flex option this year, just kind of borderline flex. And then let's see what else, dude. Gus the Bus, plus 38. If you drafted him, you're loving life. I drafted J.K. goddamn Dobbins. I would have been loving life, but he got injured. And then here we go, dude. Josh Jacobs, that offense was terrible. Josh McDaniels just took a big shit and left it everywhere, dude. Didn't even flush the toilet, dude. And then Austin Eckler, speaking of big shits, dude, I don't know how it gets any worse than Austin Eckler. I really should have him down here as my fantasy big turd. Like, I think he was my second in the running. And then Hubbard, dude. Hubbard took over Miles Sanders. That was great. Devon Achane right here. He's green. Plus 15. That was great. Hey, Najee, -16. So here we go, dude. Huge disappointments. Josh Jacobs, Austin Eckler, Najee Harris, Ramondre Stevenson, dear Lord. Alexander Madison, I told you. Jonathan Taylor Thomas, that injury sucked. Miles Sanders, dude, he lost his starting job. That's what happened there. He could easily be the big turd award. And then Jones, I can't remember. Oh, Aaron Jones, man, drafted as running back 14. That injury, he was the Keenan Allen of this year, -27. Came back to help people in the championships at least. And then here we go, dude. Dameon Pierce, my fantasy big turd. Woo! Dude, God, dude. Drafted as running back 15. Finished the season as running back 54. And this fool wasn't even playing, man. Like, he didn't contribute whatsoever. Maybe that's better than you, like, having to start Eckler every week and him just killing your team. At least you knew Pierce wasn't going to play. But shit, dude. -39. That is, like, blinding. If you can't read that, it's because it's burning your eyes. It's so terrible. So yeah, dude, Pierce, 1 top 15 finish on the season and 8 outside the top 40. Injured for 3 games, dude. Singletary took over. And then here we go. Let's see what I wrote about the fantasy MVP. Dude, Kyren Williams faced an 8-man box, less than 5% of rushes. The next starting running back that was even close to that was James Cook at 10%. Christian McCaffrey had to face 8-man boxes 36% of the time, dude. So here we go. That's 30% more than what this guy has. Life was easy for Kyren Williams. He was 5th in the league with a 5.0 yards per carry. Missed 4 games due to injury. Average 18.5 fantasy points per game. That's 2 more than Mostert, 2 less than Christian McCaffrey. So, dude, he killed it. We're gonna be giving away some more awards like, hey, waiver wire pick of the year. I think this guy might be it. You know what I'm saying? So Kyren Williams won people leagues. Where is he going to be going next year? Hey, if the offseason stays the same, I'm picking up Kyren Williams into the first round if I can and be happy about it. All right, here we go. Wide receivers, man. The year the wide receiver is supposed to be was the year of the running back. God damn it. We knew it. Things always correct themselves. Lamb, dude. Wide receiver, number 1 to finish the year. Tyreek injury kind of cost him at the end of the season, dude. And Lamb was on fire for the last 8 weeks. I mean, he's got to be like the number 1 fantasy wide receiver on championship teams this season. He was drafted as wide receiver number 5. That is +4. So Tyreek did pretty much what you expected him to do. I tried to draft him. I missed out by 1, and I got stuck with goddamn Travis Kelce. I was so happy about it. Amon Ross St. Brown. These are all PPR, by the way. I should have said that in the beginning of the episode, but seeing St. Brown as number 3 reminded me of such. So, dude, hey, St. Brown, +7, and he was the only non-quarterback that scored 20-plus points in each of the 3 weeks of fantasy playoffs. So he is the fantasy playoff MVP, if you have my opinion. A.J. Brown did a little bit better than you thought. Puka Nacua, I don't know, did a little bit better than people thought? I don't know. My favorite, I picked him up, dude. I was sitting on the toilet like at $255, up my bid to like $70. And I missed out on Kyron Williams because of it. But still, dude, I got Puka Nacua, my favorite fantasy player of the year. I got his rookie card. Check it out, dude. I don't have it. It's inside. Anyways, dude, Puka Nacua finished as wide receiver number 5, drafted as wide receiver 101. I'd say that's a net positive 96. Big hits, dude. Keenan Allen. I drafted Keenan Allen. I was all about Keenan Allen. And if it wasn't for that injury, he would be the MVP, I'm pretty sure, dude. So that injury cost him. Mike Evans, dude. Oh my God. I talk shit about him because of Baker Mayfield. Look at him. Finished as wide receiver 7, drafted as wide receiver 32, net positive 25. That's huge. DJ Moore, big positive for him. People quit believing. Stephon Diggs is our first miss right here. He was drafted as wide receiver 4, finished as number 9, dude. But those last like 8 weeks were what you could not start him. So we'll talk about that later. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow injury, plus he was getting injured, -8. Devontae Adams, I fucking drafted Devontae Adams. He slid to me. I was so happy. Well, guess what, dude? He did good in 2 of the 3 weeks for fantasy championships. He's probably on some league winners right now, but still, -5. Ayuk, man. Ayuk came through big. I wanted him, and I missed out on drafting him. +16. Michael Pittman Jr. came back with a vengeance. +16. Dude, he was undervalued because people hated him like me. I owned him last year, dude. And he fucking sucked. Adam Thielen came from the grave to, dude, net +35. You know, he finished as wide receiver 15, drafted as wide receiver 50. Holy shit. Nico Collins, yeah, dude, Nico Collins might be going in the 2nd round, 3rd round next year. Holy shit. He is going to be undervalued next year, and I don't know what they do. I don't care if they draft somebody, man. Give me some Nico, and give me some Tank next season. George Pickens, man, came on strong late, +12. Let's look, DK Metcalf, -4. Devontae Smith, -3. Chris Olave, -8. Dude, Garrett Wilson, that was the injury to Aaron Rodgers. Can't hold that against him. -14. Calvin Ridley got super hyped by me and everybody else. Man, did you see that training footage? Oh my God, he is so fast. -8, dude. So not great. DeAndre Hopkins, you thought he was going to be great for a little bit, and no, he fell off a cliff. And let's see, dude, Jaden Reed +46. He had a chance to be a fantasy MVP, maybe, but this was insane. We had insane wide receivers this year, so he was like top 5 in the running there. Jalen Waddle, dude, every single second wide receiver, man, underperformed this season. So I guarantee you the second wide receiver on other teams, maybe Puka, maybe Jordan. I mean, not Jordan Addison, because he did not finish that well, but still. Second wide receivers should be drafted a little bit later. I was preaching that anyways this season, before the season started. McLaurin, -10. Dude, Romeo Dobbs, +26. We did not know who the wide receiver is going to be there, plus Christian Watson injury. Let's see, we got Cooper Kupp, -32. Injury, plus he just did not do well. He did well for about a month. Gave everybody hope, man, but he is getting old and outdated, and Puka is emerging. Christian Watson, -40. Higgins, -34. Dude, Justin Jefferson, -36, but he was injured. Drake London, he was my preseason fantasy MVP. Never again, dude. Never again. I believe in Drake London, man. If he was on some other team, holy shit, we'd be talking about him being amazing. And the way he finished last season did not translate to this season. Arthur Smith can suck a dick. So there you go, Arthur Smith. All right, let's talk about the fantasy MVP. Puka Nacua had 9 top 12 finishes out of 16 weeks, 8th in the league in targets, 1,445 yards. He got his money through yards, and that is going to that is a consistent thing where touchdowns aren't so much. Dude, Puka Nacua, high yards. I see him doing well again next season as long as Matthew Stafford is there. Holy shit, give me some Puka Nacua. 4th in the league in yards, 5th in yards after the catch, above expectation. And if you look at that list, it's like Debo, in like tight ends, big wide receivers that just you can't tackle. So Puka Nacua, dude, as a freshman, you could not tackle the fool. So Puka Nacua, love him for next season. And then I had Waddle as a big turd award, but I'm moving it to Diggs, dude. Once I started doing a little bit more research, 6 or fewer fantasy points in 6 of the last 7. Dude, that is unstartable. Like, that literally lost you everything. You had to start him because he was goddamn Diggs, Stephon Diggs. He lost you championships. I saw, like, comments on Reddit. He lost me championships. He tasted so good, just a sour like a motherfucker. So, it sucks even worse because he was killing it, dude. Like wide receiver 2 or 3 first half of the season. Wide receiver like 32 or 52 second half of the season, man. Yeah, Diggs, I don't know where he goes next season. Maybe like on that 2-3 turn, late second. Let's go, the tight ends. This is the last position we will cover. Sam Laporta, dude. A revelation. Dude, drafted as tight end number 18. I was telling you, hey, if I have to wait on tight ends, I'm going to get Jawan Johnson and Sam Laporta. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And because Hawkinson, that big void that was left, highly drafted. Laporta, I really liked his tape and everything. He was just a pure pass-catching tight end, and I was like, dude, they're not going to keep this guy blocking and shit. Yeah, but then Kelsey fell to me. I thought I was so lucky that Kelsey fell to me. Well, guess what, man? I wish he didn't, because I would have got Laporta. And then, hey, next up, dude, Kelsey. Why am I complaining? He finishes tight end number 2. Why am I even complaining? Because where you drafted him, dude, the draft capital between round 1 and like round what, dude, like fucking 4 or 5 for like the second tight end or some shit is ridiculous. So you needed Kelsey to do well. It was almost guaranteed, dude. He was been like on the list of the most common players on championship teams for like the last 5 years, dude. I just did that huge show before the season. I was like, this is guaranteed. Then he got into a goddamn love story. Fuck that. Oh my God. Travis Kelce, S the D. -1, dude. So Hawkinson did what he said he was going to do, what you drafted him to do. But man, if it wasn't for a couple injuries, he would have done better. Let's see, dude. Evan Ingram, I think he led the tight ends in targets this year. So overperformed, +4. Njoku, oh my God, killed it. Kittle just did a little bit worse than you thought, but I mean, he's kind of doing what you drafted him to do. He booms or he busts. Kmet did better, so Justin Fields had a bounce back year with Kmet. Kmet was hot shit last year, left a lot of bad taste in people's mouths. McBride, dude, oh my God, how is McBride not the MVP? He does have the highest net here, but when you're talking about scarcity of tight end and the weight of just your number 1 tight end and touchdowns, you got to go with our MVP in a minute. And then, hey, dude, Jake Ferguson, I was hating on this offense. I thought maybe this offense might do okay because it's going to be so basic. But hey, dude, this offense was amazing, and it afforded Ferguson to do well, +17. Mark Andrews injured, -9. Dallas Goedert was injured too, -6. Kyle Pitts, he should be the Big Turd Award. He was not injured, -8. Jonnu Smith, dude, was like getting just as many points as him. Taysom Hill, +7. Logan Thomas, man, +20. He was actually a big part of that offense. And then Waller, -19 because of injurers. And Freiermuth, -20 because of injurers. So here we go, dude. No big surprise. MVP Laporta averaged 14.1 fantasy points per game this year, which is actually behind Kelsey and Hawkinson, which is kind of crazy. He had 120 targets, 4th in the league, 1 behind Kelsey. He had 10 goddamn touchdowns, and that's what made him valuable, okay? You know what that ties in for? I still remember this because I drafted Rob Gronkowski his rookie year. And I was like, dude, he's going to get 10+ touchdowns. He got 10 touchdowns his rookie year. He had 1 less game, but still, dude, this guy would get huge weeks. He had a 3-touchdown week. So the next up for touchdowns with tight ends was 6. So he had 4 more than any other tight end. And then here we go, dude, conversely. Fucking Kelsey over here stinking it up, man. Big turd. Since week 8, and he was like, what? He was ranked 9th in target share. That's god awful. That's not what he's like the only option on that team, man. 6th in receiving yards. 6th in first read share. What the fuck, dude? 9th in fantasy points per game. No touchdowns the last 6 games of the year. Yeah, no touchdowns last 6 games of last year. So Kelsey, GTFO, I'm never drafting you again. I say that, but if you're there in the 3rd round, maybe next year, I'll probably draft you. All right, everybody, that is the show. Thank you so much for watching. If you disagree with anything I said, or if you have your own MVPs or big turds, please let me know down below in the comments. And hey, man, hopefully I earned a thumbs up. Hopefully I earned a subscription. If you are not already subscribed, please subscribe. We need your help, man. We want to blow this show up. Blow it up. Make it huge. I want everybody to watch this, see this. And hey, it starts with you right now. We need your support. This is Tyler Big Turd Ward, and I appreciate you.